In English, there's a phonological process that changes how these sounds are pronounced. That process is a type of palatalization called yod-coalescence. Normally, we English speakers are completely unaware that we do this when we speak our native language, which means that we don't realize we shouldn't do it when we speak Spanish. Since we're unaware we shouldn't do it, most of us do it to one degree or another, which creates serious mispronunciations in our Spanish. I've observed English-style yod-coalescence in the Spanish of beginner students, as well as of people who've been speaking Spanish for decades and who are extremely proficient in the language. So all of this makes it sound like yod-coalescence is a really hard habit for English speakers to break, maybe even impossible. But there's no reason why it should be that way. Just like anything else, students can learn about it, think about it, and practice speaking Spanish without it, giving themselves much more accurate pronunciation. Alright, so let's start by describing yod-coalescence so you know what it is. In English, when these sounds appear before diphthongs starting with the y sound, in practice most of the nuclei of those diphthongs reduce to schwa, so phonetically we're talking about the diphthong y, the y and the consonant often merge, creating a different sound. D becomes j, t becomes ch or sh, s becomes sh, and z becomes zh. Examples include words like soldier, question, mission, and vision. At some point in the past, these words would have been pronounced something like soldier, question, mission, and vision. But then English went through a phase where the y sound merged with the preceding consonant, resulting in the palatalization of the consonant. Another English phonological process that plays into yod-coalescence is the diphthongization of long u. In English, long u is pronounced u, a combination of y and u. Okay, so when one of these consonants precedes long u, this creates exactly the phonetic context for yod-coalescence. Examples include words like educate, nature, assure, and casual, which in some previous stage of the English language would have been pronounced something like educate, nature, assure, and casual. It's important to realize that there are two phonological processes going on here in English that don't occur at all in Spanish. One is insertion of the y before u in the pronunciation of you, and the other is coalescence of y and these consonant sounds. Neither of these things is part of Spanish phonology at all. They simply do not happen in Spanish. In English, yod-coalescence may also occur across word boundaries when one word ends in one of these consonants and the next word begins with a y sound. Here are some examples. Could you help becomes could you help. Got you some becomes got you some. Knows your name becomes knows your name. So how do we avoid applying English-style yod-coalescence to our Spanish pronunciation? The first step is to know what yod-coalescence is. Alright, everyone who's made it this far in this video can check that one off the list. The second step is to understand how these consonants are pronounced in Spanish. I've made videos on all these consonants that you can find in my pronunciation and old videos playlists, but we'll go ahead and do a little review right now. Spanish D. In standard Spanish, D before a vowel is a voiced interdental fricative, meaning that the tip of the tongue goes between the upper and lower front teeth, much like the voiced th sound in English words like weather and clothing. Examples include cada, idea, and mudo. That's it. That's the only pronunciation of D before a vowel in standard Spanish. Spanish D is never pronounced d with the tongue on the alveolar ridge as it is in English, and it's never pronounced j as it is with English-style yod-coalescence. Spanish T. Spanish T is pronounced as a voiceless dental stop in all positions. That means that the tip of the tongue touches the backs of the upper front teeth. Examples include tema, antes, and meta. That's it. That's the one and only pronunciation of T in standard Spanish. Spanish T is never pronounced t with the tongue on the alveolar ridge as it is in English, and it's never pronounced ch or sh as it is with English-style yod-coalescence. Spanish S. Spanish S before a vowel is pronounced as a voiceless sibilant. Examples are casa, santo, and oso. And that's it. That's the only pronunciation of Spanish S before a vowel. It's never pronounced sh or zh as it is in English-style yod-coalescence. Alright, check. The third step is to understand the situations in which native English speakers are most strongly tempted to apply yod-coalescence to Spanish words. Let's take a look at them now. By far the most common is Spanish words that are perfect or nearly perfect cognates with English words pronounced with yod-coalescence. Observe these Spanish words pronounced first with English-style pronunciation and then with more accurate Spanish pronunciation. Acción, acción, casual, casual, celestial, celestial, confidencial, confidencial, cultura, cultura, dirección, dirección, educar, educar, especial, especial, expresión, expresión, gracias, gracias, individual, individual, náusea, náusea, ondular, ondular, operación, operación, paciencia, paciencia, pasión, pasión, precioso, precioso, profesional, profesional, usual, usual, visión, visión. The next most common is Spanish words that contain morphemes whose English equivalent is pronounced with yod-coalescence. Observe these examples pronounced with the two contrasting accents. Compostura, compostura, costura, costura, gestionar, gestionar, impresionar, impresionar, mensual, mensual, naturaleza, naturaleza, presión, presión, reflexionar, reflexionar. And the third is Spanish words in which D, S, or T appear before a diphthong starting with I, even though the word is not a close cognate with an English word pronounced with yod-coalescence. Observe these examples pronounced with the two contrasting accents. Ansias, ansias, basura, basura, bestia, bestia, Asia, Asia, iglesia, iglesia, juicio, juicio, media luna, ocio, ocio, rasurar, rasurar, rociar, rociar, sitio, sitio, sucia, sucia. All right, check. And the final step is to practice, practice, practice pronouncing words in these categories with correct Spanish pronunciation. That's something you will have to make time for and do on your own. All right, one closing thought and we'll wrap this up. To a Spanish ear, English-style alveolar T can sound a lot like ch in some phonetic contexts. So if you pronounce this phrase with stereotypical English pronunciation, ella tiene, it sounds kind of like ella tiene to a Spanish ear. Similarly, to a native Spanish speaker, English-style alveolar D may sound a lot like j in some phonetic contexts. So if you pronounce this word with stereotypical English pronunciation, diente, it sounds kind of like gente to a Spanish ear. So even if you're trying to avoid yod-coalescence in your Spanish, and you should be, if you continue to articulate all of your basic sounds with English-style tongue positions, you'll still occasionally produce something that to a Spanish ear sounds a little like yod-coalescence. Remember, Spanish T is dental, and Spanish D before a vowel is interdental. These are quite different from their English counterparts, and getting your tongue in just the right place does make a difference in how your Spanish pronunciation sounds to native listeners. All right, this has been our discussion of English yod-coalescence and how to avoid it in your Spanish. If you've learned something from this video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. If you have any questions about the Spanish language, please ask in the comments. I keep a running list of viewers' questions that I consult when deciding what video to make next.